you have? 31. Oh, that's why they're longer. Yeah, let's fucking rage!
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your...
What's going on, you guys? Back again here with another video. Today's video is going to be pretty damn fun. I'm super excited. As you guys can tell from that intro and probably from the title, we are installing a Procharger today. What kit did you go with, Pedro?
A P1X.
P1X?
P1X fluid.
So you guys can look at this fucking size of that bitch. What's the first one? Like it's a P1SC?
Yeah, it's a starter kit. This is a
P1X. And what's like stage 2, right?
yeah. It's a stage 2
or kit 2, stage 2 intercooler. So there you guys go, you guys. I'm with my boy Pedro, Instagram Smiley @SmileyIZ. Like his license plate says, as of right now, he's all stock except for brakes, tires, rotors, exhaust, cosmetics all around.
It's still stock.
Besides that, I mean intake. Besides that little stuff, he's pretty much stock. Like I said, you guys, obviously you guys know I like getting my hands on shit and learning new stuff, and you guys know my level of expertise. I'm pretty sure his level of expertise, or being a mechanic or whatnot, isn't that great, but we're gonna figure this bitch out. Instruction says 6 hours for us. Let's be honest, maybe 8 to 10, maybe.
8 to 10.
We don't know what the hell we're doing, but we're gonna follow instructions, and I think we'll get it. It shouldn't be too hard. For those of you guys who know and who are OGs to the channel, you guys know that my original choices was either Whipple or Procharger. That's what I was torn between the two. If I would have gone with Procharger, I for sure would have installed it myself, because I feel like with Procharger you're more adding stuff and nonetheless not really removing as much shit as you would on a twin screw. But I'm excited to see what this has to offer. I'm excited to see how it feels, just because, like I said, this was my other option. Alright guys, as you can see, we got the bumper off. Now we're gonna go ahead and start checking out these instructions, read those up. Alright guys, quick update. We got this whole intake out. We're down to the throttle body. We got that sound tube off, the stock sound tube going inside of the car. What's next? We're gonna move on and continue reading these fucking instructions. What's next, Smiley? It looks like next we're gonna start getting into bumper. We did that. So next we're gonna get into the fuel rails, actually. So setting up the intercooler and fuel rails. That's what's next on the instructions. So we're just gonna continue following ahead and get her done slowly but surely. Bitch. So right now we're going ahead and removing the fuel rails out of the way. Well, what pound injectors did you get in the kit?
I think ID1000.
ID1000? There you go.
Put it in there if we're gonna lose it.
Alright, so the next is remove the bracket along the foam insulators wrapped over the fuel rails. Pull the insulators up and out of the vehicle for removal. So there's the insulators right there. That's the bracket. There's a foam insulation down underneath it. I think we raised the car up too high. Alright guys, so this is pretty cool. I find this pretty interesting. I've never really seen this myself. So this is your fuel rail here, which is actually my first time ever seeing it outside of the car like this. And it's pretty tight. The injectors, which are these right here, tie into it with just 2 metal clips off to the side. Those little metal inserts insert into this here. And then you can see what Smiley's cleaning out right now is the injector holes. Put the light over with one of the holes. Yeah, so it goes in there. That's a trip, man. I've never really seen it apart like this, so I just figured it was interesting to show you guys. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna continue unclipping these apart, and then we'll throw his new injectors. I'm pretty sure that's the next step, and we'll move on from there.
Is that all you take off there?
Alright you guys, so we got the new injectors in. We're getting the fuel rail back on, getting everything back together as far as the fuel rail and lines go. I'm not too sure what's next on the instruction. We're going step by step, so we're just gonna move along. Looks like next is removing the factory coolant and the cooling system of the whole thing, so that should be pretty cool to get into. So we'll go ahead and tighten this up and move along, put it all back.
You don't have to put those
Alright guys, as you can see, we kind of lost light, but I got a little hang light, a little shop light going. Just to show you guys another thing that I thought was pretty cool. So this here is the, we said this is the hot side, right?
Yeah.
The thermostat. So the thermostat housing actually sits right here, and this is something that I thought was pretty cool also that you don't really see, obviously, when you got the air box and all that extra shit right here. With the Procharger kit, they actually change out the bottom end of the housing before the hose connects to it. The stock one actually comes out this way, whereas this one shoots out this way. I'm guessing that's because of the intake. I'm guessing you're gonna have the intake running around here and through here down this way. So right now we're currently working on the cooling system. The stock cooling reservoir is coming out. If you guys don't know, Procharger does supply you with their own black Procharger cooling reservoir that replaces that ugly crap.
Ugly piece of shit.
So that's good.
This ugly piece of shit.
But yeah, guys, we're working it, man. We're kind of just learning as we go, getting shit done. We got our fuel rails back inside. Everything is clipped back on, as I mentioned earlier. Huh? Oh, there you go. Look. Damn. It's a lot smaller,
yeah,
too.
It's a lot smaller.
That's clean.
Just need to connect these fittings to it.
Cool. Every bag is labeled, you guys, and these instructions, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but so far, so good, man. These instructions are pretty cut and clear. So good job, Procharger. Getting it done. Go ahead and move along and pick it back up once I got another update for you guys. Alright guys, just a quick little update. My bad.
You're taking my beer.
I know, that's my bad. Alright you guys, so just a little update. So there's the sway bar, which we had to remove or loosen up to move it forward and to fit the supplied pulley, which goes on the crank balancer, on the stock crank balancer, which is, this is the one that they supplied to us here, this black one. And that ties into the stock one. So we got that going. That's where the belt is gonna run off of and run the supercharger. Our next step per instructions is to start setting up all the brackets for the Procharger itself, which is going off of the alternator, and it looks like 2 bolts off of what the motor looks like.
Well, one from the block, the alternator, and this one off the block as well.
Yeah, so 2 off the block, 1 off the alternator, and that is the housing. We're moving, we're working. Seems like we ain't getting shit done, but slowly we're getting there.
All the beer we're drinking.
We got all the stock stuff off now, it seems like, so now it's just adding everything else that needs to go on. I'm surprised we're doing the brackets before we start doing the cooling tubing or any of that, but we're following instructions, doing it as we're being told to do, so we'll keep it moving, keep it pushing. More beers, more food, and more vape. Alright you guys, so I kind of just wanted to show you how detailed these instructions really are. As you can see, we have a full diagram kind of showing the length of the bolts, what they are, the spacers, the size of the spacers, what everything really is, and then the instructions themselves. Now we got the bracket going on. Alright you guys, quick little update. So we got the head, oh yeah, oh my god. So we got the head unit in. We ran into some issues. I think these instructions are meant for the smaller starter head unit. Because if you really think about it, obviously the what is it, the P1SC1?
Yeah, P1SC.
The P1SC is a smaller head unit, which if it was smaller, it would have avoided our issue, which our issue was it was hitting the radiator cover. What is it?
The fan shroud?
The fan shroud, the radiator fan shroud, it was rubbing up against it. Now, obviously, if we had a smaller head unit, that wouldn't be an issue. In his case, it was an issue, and we kind of couldn't find a way around it because the bracket was already installed and in place. I don't think there was much adjustment in the bracket itself, so we went ahead and got a Dremel and Dremeled out some of the shroud itself, and then we loosened up these brackets and moved the whole radiator over. As you can see, the bracket isn't really straight, it's kind of at an angle. Now it is touching very little, but I figured with this getting just warm enough, it'll probably just melt it a little bit so it looks something like that. This shouldn't get too hot, so it shouldn't, you know, be dangerous or make any real issues or problems. So now we're at the step where we got to move this tensioner, which I have really bad lighting, but anyways, this tensioner needs to travel up so we can, there it is. So that tensioner needs to travel up so we can get the last 2 screws. It's 6 screws in here. So far we got 4 in there, but the other 2, this pulley's in the way. So we're trying to figure out how it goes. But as you can see, there's space for this bolt here to travel up and down, actually. There's space both up and down. So I think adjusting this collar and screwing this bolt down, which is what we're still trying to figure out, and make this travel up so we can get the screws from behind. So We got stuck there for a couple minutes. We're still working on the head unit.
Like half an hour ago.
Yeah, we were there for a while. We haven't.
Showed up.
Yeah, Matt showed up and then it all worked for whatever reason. Alright, you guys, update time. So we got the pulleys, tensioners, and balancers that we needed in there. We got the belt on the Procharger itself. Now we're finally at the part of the instructions where we're moving on to the cooling system. So that's what we're working on down there. We did get... Yeah, this is better. Alright guys, update time. Beer in hand, cheers. Cheers, where's your fucking beer, son? Cheers, doing work on your car. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Alright. So intercooler intercooler is in. I got it mounted. We still haven't ran the hoses or anything. We're still relocating this wire harness right there. So we're gonna continue following instructions and relocate all that. Alright guys, it's getting super late. We're still going. As of right now, we got all the tubing installed onto the intercooler itself. The tubing itself was definitely not fucking easy. It was actually a bitch because, again, the size of the head unit, it's just making all the hoses clamp up and just fit really tight. Nonetheless, I mean, we got it on there. You can see it's going in. We got the throttle body hose connected there, connected to the intercooler. The intercooler coming off of the Procharger hoses are connected.
I don't think that looks right.
That's the blow off valve. No, that's how it's supposed to be. If anything, it's supposed to be back more.
How's the progress?
It's going, bro.
So that's, from my understanding, that's the blow off valve. And then right now we're just running all our wires. Like we had to, I guess, cut off the vacuum tee and adjust or install Procharger's vacuum tee. Again, guys, I'm definitely not a professional. I'm just going off of the instructions and fucking basically repeating that. We had to maneuver the radiator some more. I'm not sure why this is like this, and I'm not sure if Procharger has an answer for us, but we're going to call tomorrow and figure out why the hell the radiator is sitting off at an angle and not straight up and down. Like I said, the head unit itself was rubbing up against it, so that doesn't seem too right to me, but we'll find out tomorrow what's going on with that. Nonetheless, we're making it work. And yeah, we still got all these freaking wires to work with. I just found out that the kit itself does come with some sort of booster pump, which we got to get under the back seat for. So we still got that to install. We still got the intake to install, which is going to go there and come up underneath the headlight. What else do we got to install?
Plugs.
Fuck, the spark plug. Yeah, so we definitely got some fucking work to do. But I'll keep trying to give you guys an update. It is currently, what time is it, like 10?
No, it's past 10.
It's past 10?
11 o'clock already. 11:07.
It's 11:07. I think we started at like 3.
1.
No.
No,
I
fuck
left at
no.
1:30, dog.
No way. We started at like 3, so it's 11, you said?
Yeah.
Fucking 8 hours already, and this is supposed to take 6 hours.
11:11, make a wish, guys.
This is supposed to take 6 hours.
Oh, stars.
We're 8 hours in and we're still doing it. Like I said, you guys, I definitely knew it was gonna take no 6 hours. We're no professionals. We don't have all the proper tools. We don't have no rolling cart. We have a fucking table
Full of beer and tools.
full of beer, pizza, tools all over the place. Fucking mess down there.
Don't lose my tools, bitch.
Look at all this shit. We're making it work. This bitch is gonna run.
Good.
So let's get it. Alright. It is now late as fuck. Not even know what time it is. Looks like we got all our PVC piping and hoses and intake. So here's the intake right there. Intake tube in there. A blow off valve and filter. Got all our PVC wires ran. We still got a couple plugs to go, but we're waiting until we're absolutely 100% done and ready to throw the bumper on to finish it all up. Got all our tubes.
You can put it in.
Like I said, all of our PVC hoses are pretty much done and removed. We removed whatever it is that we needed to remove. All that's left is this one here, but this one itself is going into the coolant reservoir. Smiley is up here working on the
Plugs.
on the spark plugs, and changing those out. Alright, so We're back here working on the JMS booster pump. I actually think that's very, very cool of them. This kit actually comes with its own booster pump that's already preset to the tune that it comes with, and pretty much ready to go. All you gotta do is plug it up and plug and play, and I believe connect some wires. We're in the middle of doing that right now. So far we just got the ground connected to the wire harness. Next step is to remove the back seat and get to the booster pump, to the pump itself. For you guys that don't know, the actual pump is back here underneath the back seat, and that is the pump that'll get your fuel up to the engine. But yeah, so a little bit out of breath, little fucking tired to be honest, but we're working it. So next is booster pump, injectors up here, or I'm sorry, spark plugs, and then tune. And I mean, fuck, hopefully we'll be ready for a startup. Obviously we're gonna start it up before we get it all put back together and looking all nice. So we'll pick this back up once we're done with that.